everybody. I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm trying to get situated still here just a little bit. So I'm going to say hi to everybody. Were you just going to lay there? All right. So hi, everybody. Hope everybody can hear me A-okay. I'm going to adjust some goofy stuff here. La, la, la. Woohoo! So I want to thank everybody first and foremost for attending. These Q&As are getting more and more popular as time goes on, and it's getting almost kind of crazy here a little bit. So it's good stuff, though. It's all good. If you guys haven't ever attended a Q&A of mine, this one is just answering more like metaphysical, spiritual questions, things like that. I won't be doing personal readings on this one. The personal readings are held for the Real Talk event, and the Real Talk is on YouTube as well. I do that once a month, and then I also do the Q&As once a month. So for this format, I won't be doing any personal or individual readings, but like I said, I do that on the Real Talk. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure that you do, because you'll be able to set those reminders, and then you'll get if I post anything, then you'll be able to get those notifications. So it's really important that you subscribe, and then of course like this video, because the more likes I get, the more people that get to access to it or see it. So I want to thank everybody for joining me. Like I said, this isn't so much with the individual readings as the other ones are, but there's still a lot of stuff. Melinda saw me in Des Moines. Hey! So I just did Des Moines this last weekend. I will be doing an Omaha live audience reading March 14th. And then March 28th, I'll be in Kearney. So if you haven't gotten tickets or you've never seen me do a live show before, I encourage you to do it. So it's really hard for me to describe what I do as far as a medium and doing the live audience readings. But if you've never attended, go for it. Try it. So next year, I will be doing a tour that's going to be a little bit more wider or more wide. I'll be hitting things like next year I'll be hitting Cheyenne. I'll be hitting Manhattan, Kansas. And then of course my regulars, which is Minneapolis, Kansas City. I'll be hitting Denver, Omaha. I mean, all that'll be on there. So, but yeah, if you've never been to a live show, I highly recommend that you do. Of course, I'll be spitting out some more videos. Been working really hard on a couple kind of irons in the fire that I have going on here. So I was hoping to be able to do some videos this week. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to. Right now, as it stands, Awakenings has been really kind of taking off. So I've been having to kind of do a little half here and a little half here and a little bit over here. So Awakenings is a crystal store that I co-own with my husband. So if you've never checked out Awakenings, of course, I'm going to encourage you to go check it out. It's awakeningsstore.com. So if you, like I said, we're constantly getting in new crystals. Had to rearrange my schedule a little bit. Looks like Eric and I have to go to another gem and mineral show. We're going to be going to the one in Denver in April. So we've never been to this one, so we don't know really what to expect or what we're going to find. But if we find some goodies, we're definitely going to put it on blast. So if you haven't liked the Awakenings Facebook page, please do so, because that's where you're going to find out all the new goodies that we're posting. So, so you'll love it. So, okay. So if you guys have questions, go right ahead and start asking. Somebody already was asking, Irma was asking about my opinion on the general tarot card spreads on YouTube. You know, if they resonate with you, then it's going to be your truth, you know, and if it doesn't, it's somebody else's truth. Everybody is different. So if those resonate with you, go for it. Absolutely go for it. So, and if it doesn't resonate you, then maybe it's not your thing. So, but to each their own on that one. I wasn't able to see in Des Moines. My brother came through with my friend that night. Thank you for bringing him forward. Well, fabulous. So that's kind of cool. But like I said, I never know what's going to happen on stage. You never know. And it just seems like my spirit guides love to teach me when I'm up on stage. So they're like, oh, here's a new indicator for you. And I'm like, oh, crap. So they love to school me right when I'm doing a live audience reading. So you just roll with it. Okay. Crystals good for grandson with hemophilia. That's a really good one, Carol. So bloodstone clearly helps with the blood. And then I would say rose quartz, and then probably like boys always like gold tiger eye. So that would be another one that I would recommend as well. So those top threes are really going to help. But hemophilia is blood. Bloodstone helps your blood. So pretty easy. You know, crystals are kind of like pretty, you know, layman's terms, like blue apatite helps with your appetite. So it's kind of like that. So yeah. Tanner's asking if it's okay to share crystals with family members, or should everybody have their own. Honestly, everybody should have their own because of their own energy. However, if you have a crystal, you sage it, you cleanse it or charge it, and then give it to somebody else in your family, totally fine. Totally fine. But ultimately, that's what you want. So Heather is asking, how do you tell if a child is a rainbow child? Well, most rainbow children right now are under the age of 6, and you have to have 2 crystal parents to be able to have a rainbow baby. So 2 indigo parents come together to have a crystal child. And right now, those crystal children are of childbearing ages. So 2 crystal children come together to have a rainbow child. So I'm working actually on a video series on Psychic Kids. It's right now I've got it written for 6 videos. I will start shooting and editing and doing all that stuff starting next week. So that's my next project that I'll be working on. And so it's like basically a Psychic Kids video. And it's all about parents on how parents can learn how to raise these kids and giving them some tips and tricks on how to figure that stuff out. So best essential oil for protection. Lori, best protection. That honestly, frankincense and myrrh are pretty high vibe type of oils. I'd honestly have to kind of look at that one, but I would think patchouli or something along those lines would be a good protector because it's a grounding type of oil. So I would say something like that. Carrie is asking, would seeing hawks daily be a sign? Absolutely, yes. Hawks are the messengers of the underworld. So always look up the spiritual meaning behind an animal, especially if you see it over and over and over. Like one day I kept seeing this yellow finch and I saw it everywhere. So I finally decided to look up the spiritual meaning behind it. And it was exactly what I needed because I was having a pickle, and it was the exact message that I needed to hear to fix the problem that I had. So make sure that you always look those up. Personally, there's so many ones. Just use Google. Again, if it resonates with you, then that's your truth. And if not, somebody else's truth. So Michelle's asking a best crystal to remove negative energy. There's actually 2, which would be black obsidian, and it could be snowflake obsidian, rainbow obsidian, basic obsidian, doesn't matter. So obsidian is a protector, especially with other people's energy, or somebody who doesn't like you and they talk crap about you. That's that one. And then the other one is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline rids negativity or protects you from negativity. So those would be the top 2. So somebody is asking how they get better at channeling and improve the reception. I'm going to tell you, Rhonda, the best thing to do is you got to be high vibe. That means you got to eat really good food. You got to exercise a little bit, and you've got to learn how to meditate and control your thoughts. So you do those 3 things, that combination, that's usually just right. Really is usually just right. Remember, guys, I won't be doing personal readings on the Q&As. Again, that is for the real talk. The Q&A is just simply answering weird spiritual questions or spiritual things that you might be having. If you're asking personal questions, I'm going to ask you to make sure that you go to the real talk, which is I don't think it's at the end of this. It's at the end of this month. So it's not for a little bit yet. So just hang in there. Somebody was asking if they want to do the Sedona retreat. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me explain the Sedona retreat. I did one last year and it was such a hit because I only take 12 people. That's it. I won't take more than 12 people. And so that way everybody gets individual time with me. But the Sedona retreat is, it's a little under $2,000. That includes the flight, the hotel, and a few meals. Okay. What we do is we're going to hit all the major vortexes. We're going to do a release and cleanse ceremony, and then we'll kind of rebuild some goals and things like that afterward. So I don't necessarily read you, but I kind of read you anyway. So, but it gives everybody an individual time. So if you've never taken a trip by yourself, but yet you want to go with a group of people, that's going to be the best thing for you, is that Sedona trip. I am working on some ones that are a little bit closer to home. It really honestly depends on how many weekends I have left. So it's really hard with the tour and the workshops, and my kids, I have 3 teenagers at home, and their schedule, it's a little difficult. So I'm just trying to juggle, just trying to do this. She was with me and she loved it. Everybody did. It was a blast. It really was. Any tips for automatic writing? Ooh, good one, Gwen. Okay, so automatic writing. What you want to do is just kind of take a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and literally take a pen, one colored pen, like a blue one, and ask a question, and then grab a red pen and answer it. It's the first question it's the first response that you get after the question. That's how you automatic write. I have found that I like to automatic write on my computer. So it's best to just ask a question, and then whatever comes into your head, just type. Don't worry about editing. Don't worry about how it's going to look or present. Just type. Just get it down. And you'll see quickly how the questions get answered in a format that's not yours. So that's what automatic writing is. I kind of do that every day with my daily readings. That's kind of oddly enough what I do. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, today's going to be like this. So, and then I just write. So, but that's the easiest way to do it. Looking for resources to do oracle readings. So oracle readings, angel card readings, tarot card readings, they're all the same. They're all the same. So I say go for it. Heck yeah. So best crystal for psoriasis. I'm going to say amethyst, because amethyst is a high vibey one. Smoky quartz, because it's a detoxifier. And honestly, I think feldspar is a really good one for skin, if I remember right. Also, rainbow fluorite is another good one for skin problems. So I will be at the Omaha Holistic event. So there's an Omaha Holistic Expo this weekend. It's going to be held at the UNO campus. I will be doing individual readings. I'm not going to be doing too many, but I will do some 15-minute jobs. And I will tell you, if you've never been to a metaphysical fair, this is a great one to go to. This is one of the few that I do here in town. And I know Angie runs it, and she does a great job running it. The other one is Mystic Fest, is the other one that I go to as well. So I do go to attend both of those. But if you've never been to this particular expo, it's a great expo. It really is. So I would tell you, if you've never checked it out, check it out. That's this weekend. So it's Saturday and Sunday. I do believe it's free to get in. Parking should be pretty easy to find too. So, but if you've never checked it out, check it out. It's a good deal. So, best crystals for baby. Best one is kunzite, Regina. Kunzite, rose quartz, and oh man, what was the other one? I just had it. I think pink calcite, I think. So there's another pink one, and I think it's pink calcite if I remember right. So, but those, especially kunzite, bonds baby and mom together. Rose quartz is universal love. So the thing called this weekend, it is the Omaha Holistic Expo. That's what it's called. Lindsay, best way to clear your head before bed. Honestly, take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And when I say that, those cleansing breaths, not in your chest. Get the Buddha belly, like pull the air out all the way. And honestly, what I do is I just try to chill. Just try to chill. If you need some background music, get some background music. Do what you need to do to get comfortable. But the easiest thing for me to do is I really take a lot of deep breaths and just slow down. And I tell myself, slow down, easy. The day is done. Tomorrow is a new day. I don't think about what I'm doing tomorrow. I think about that in the morning. So I give myself 20 minutes when I wake up in the morning to do absolutely nothing and just sit and chill. Don't write, don't do, just sit and appreciate the day. So that's really hard in our society to do. But I'll tell you, once I started doing that, like everything became better organized for me, which I'm not very organized. You can even ask my husband that I'm not, but things are getting better organized because I'm taking the time out in the morning to do that. So, what's a good stone for a child with sleeping other than rose, or for peaceful sleeping other than rose quartz? Anything black, actually. Any black crystal, because that helps to kind of keep them grounded so they're not so airy-fairy in the brain. And another thing, believe it or not, dream catchers work pretty well. So Trisha was asking, the spirit animal, or how do you find out? You know what? Ask and you shall receive, right? So ask. Okay, God, angel, spirit guides, whoever else knows me, I want to know what my mammal spirit guides. So on average, you're going to have one mammal, one bird, and one insect. So simply ask your spirit guides to show you what it is. You'll see it over and over and over and over. They're patient beings. That's nice. But you'll see it over and over and over to a point you're like, okay, wait a second, really? So mine's a squirrel. That took me a while to figure out that it was actually a squirrel until the damn thing started like literally yelling at me. And then I was like, oh, maybe my squirrel is my spirit guide. So it is. So, but that was one of my spirit animals. So just ask, and they'll show it to you repeatedly. So, I'm just gonna say M because I can't pronounce the name. I'm seeing flashing lights similar to lava lamps when they're closed when I'm trying to fall asleep. Yes, what that is a sign of clairvoyance. So many of you have noticed. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Need to ground. So many of you may have noticed that when you're closing your eyes at night, it looks like lava lamp, and sometimes you might see what looks like faces or shapes or things like that. That's simply your third eye chakra opening up. That's your clairvoyance developing. That's a good thing. So it usually starts out with lava lamps, and then it'll kind of turn into what looks like geometric shapes, like the sacred symbols, like the eye, dodecahedron, the triangle, things like that. And then after a while, you'll start to see what looks like faces. So that just means to tell me that your clairvoyance is really getting tapped in. So it's a good thing. So, but like I said, it's normal in my world, but I know when you first start out, it doesn't feel normal. So, but it's all good. Okay. What crystal do you suggest for calming anxiety, and do they help dogs with anxiety? Yes, best stone for anxiety is amethyst. By far, that's the best one. The other one is rainbow fluorite, and another one would be probably black onyx, honestly. That's a really hard grounder, but it pulls the fear out through your feet. So that's another good one. So those would be my top three. So let's see here. Crystal, I'm not doing personal readings on this one. So best crystal to help arthritis. Oh, crap. Feldspar, I think rainforest rhyolite, and breast-seeded jasper. So got it. Those three. Kelly, sounds crazy. I feel like I hear voices within white noise. Yes. I'll tell you, that's normal, especially when you're clairaudient. So we talked about clairvoyance earlier. Clairaudient is the ability to hear spirit. And when you hear them, when you first start hearing them, it sounds like they're talking in another room, and it's really muffled or mumbled. It also sounds like sometimes there's music in a different room, and you're like, I hear that, but what is that music? And you can't identify it. Like, it's not a piano. It's not, it's hard for you to identify. So just understand that's your clairvoyance absolutely like popping on here. So that's a good thing. That's a really good thing too. So the biggest thing is just acknowledge to them in your head telepathically, I hear you, or I'm hearing you right now. And a lot of times they'll get louder with it, or they'll get softer with it, depending on if you need to sleep or not. But remember, you control spirit. You tell spirit what to do. Spirit doesn't tell you what to do. You tell them what to do. Because I'll tell you, you're a spirit in a human body. There is spirit without a human body. Therefore, your energy is going to trump. So if you say, just get out of here, I want to go to sleep, they will. They're respectful that way, especially your loved ones and your spirit guides and that. They're absolutely going to do that. So that's normal. Hillary, same thing. Clairaudient is when you hear. Clairaudient. Best protection for coronavirus or flu. So here's the deal with this one. I'm sorry, we've survived H1N1 and all these other goofy things, and there is so much freaking fear right now. Please, please do not feed into the fear. Don't do it. Instead, be happy. Happy people don't get sick. Happy people don't get sick. If you are stressed out, overworked, not feeling well, fix it. Everything is fixable, so fix it. And then number 2, basic hygiene rules. Wash your freaking hands. So, if you're not feeling well, don't go out, things like that. But am I worried about this whole coronavirus? I'm sorry. No, not at all. We've survived other viruses. It's just the media is blowing this out of proportion because people are feeding into it. So, the best crystals are the ones that are going to help you to de-stress. So again, that's anxiety. That's things like rainbow fluorite, amethyst, selenite, different things like that. So like I said, the biggest thing is don't sweat it, really, but don't feed into the fear. Don't do that. Okay, Rhonda's asking ringing in the ears. Okay, the low-pitched ringing in the ears is going to be your spirit guides. The high-pitched ringing are usually angels. You can tell who's around you by the different pitch or tone in your ear. So hopefully that one clarifies that one. How do you properly connect with a non-physical being like an ET? Brianna, you do it in a meditative state. You have to do it in a high vibrational meditative state. And simply what you do is you're going to, in a meditation, you're going to imagine like a lightning rod coming out of your head and going all the way up. So, and remember, you can always say, do a blanket prayer and say something like, I only want to speak to people that are going to be for my highest good. I only want to speak to ETs that are going to be for my highest good. So that way we're not talking to a bunch of reptilians, right? So, but that's the best way to do it, is just to kind of tap in and imagine almost like a lightning bolt going all the way up. And somebody, it'll get connected. You'll get connected. So, and when it comes in, it's going to come in like kind of quick, and you're going to go, did I just imagine that? Did that just kind of happen? So you're going to question it like that, and I can tell you that's how it rolls. So, the easy drink. Okay. Ooh, I've never had an easy drink. I'm not used to fizzy stuff. Does it matter if you buy crystals that are jewelry? Absolutely not. It's kind of a general consensus. I don't notice it personally, but it's kind of a general consensus that the more raw the crystal, the more energy it holds or the more power it has. So, I mean, you take that with a grain of salt, of course, but I haven't noticed a particular difference, but some people do. Some people that are more sensitive than me. So, but like I said, it doesn't matter if it's earrings, necklaces, things like that. You know, the biggest thing is that you just try to want to kind of get it closest to the best chakra. So, like black and red crystals are for the root chakra. Yellow crystals are more for your solar plexus. Blue crystals are more for your throat. So those are better to be worn here or here and not necessarily in the pocket. So basically the crystal color goes with the chakra system. Keep it simple. Remember, everything I do is simple. So keep it simple. So that's usually, generally speaking, how it works. So got a new raw piece of purple fluorite. What's its best use? I would tell you that one's a really good one to stick next to your bed when you sleep. So that would be a really good one that I would recommend. Ooh, I don't really know. You know, Amanda, that's a really good question. I don't know. I don't listen to podcasts. Heck, I don't even watch TV. Let's be real. So it's really hard for me to recommend like TV programs or even like radio stations or podcasts, things like that. The only thing I do watch, if I do watch anything, and it's on my phone, which is Gaia TV. I like to watch that once in a while, or at least listen to it when I'm like folding laundry and stuff like that, or traveling. So that's usually what I like to do. So, but I really can't recommend them. I wish I could. So healing touch versus Reiki. Rhonda, good question. Honestly, they're the same. So I know people that are actually doing it would differentiate or probably disagree with me. But I don't care if it's Holy Fire Reiki, UCI Reiki, Healing Touch, whatever you want to call it. It's the same damn thing. It's just a different modality or a different way to deliver it. Either way, it's received the same way. So you know what, go get done what you feel best with. So, because some people aren't going to resonate with me. Other people are going to resonate with somebody else. I don't ever take personal offense to that. So the biggest thing is find the person who resonates with you best. Sarah, yes, I will be teaching another Reiki class. I believe that one is in August. I do 2 a year. So the next one is going to be in August. But yes, I do teach it. It is, so I teach actually the whole thing in a weekend. So I teach 1 and 2 together. And then 3 is the one on Sunday. So Saturday is Reiki 1 and 2, and then Sunday is Reiki 3. Now, I was learned from out of a book, and I hated it. So the way I teach it is really hands-on, and I bring in guinea pigs, and I have you work on them, and I will go by and say, okay, check the knee, how about this, look at that. And then they actually give you feedback while you're there and say, hey, I felt this, but I didn't feel that. So that's why I like to teach Reiki, but I do it just to simply put a different way, because the way I learned was out of a book and I didn't like that. So you'll know if you're ready for the Reiki class if you see the replicating numbers. So if you see the 1111s, then you're ready to take it. If you don't see those replicating numbers yet, you're not ready. You're not ready. You will be. Eventually, you're going to see those numbers. But for now, I would tell you, unless you're seeing the numbers, it's a no-go. Plants or flowers to put in a garden for enhancing meditation sessions. Yes! A plant question. Yay! I never get asked plant questions anymore. I have a bachelor's degree in horticulture, so getting a plant question makes me happy. Okay, best ones for that, believe it or not, rose, jasmine, and any other flower that you resonate with. But usually, because remember, rose is a really high vibratory oil. So the 4 best high vibe oils: frankincense, myrrh, rose, and pine. So those are the hertz or frequency wise, those are the highest vibe ones. So but rose is a really high vibe one. So if you're going to meditate outside, roses are it. Oh, yay. Okay, best crystals for GI, digestive issues, and or allergies. Josie, that's a good one. Anything yellow, yellowy orange. Citrine is good. Yellow quartz is good. Hematoid is good. Anything yellow. And even I would tell you, if you're having issues, especially with tummy issues, believe it or not, lemons. So anything yellow, getting out in the sunshine, wearing yellow, looking at yellow, and listening to anything on YouTube with the solar plexus and or the sacral chakra. So it's kind of right in the middle, but usually it's solar plexus. So I dropped a crystal. It flew out of my hand and broke. What should I do with it? Glue it? No, Marissa. I will tell you, if you lose or break a crystal, and especially in your case, it like flew out of your hand, that means to tell me, vibrationally speaking, that is not a crystal for you, or it's done its job and you no longer need it. So if that's the case, we're going to take the 2 pieces and put it on a piece of selenite and let it heal a little bit. And then you give those 2 pieces to somebody else that you think who would use them or need them. So, but if you ever lose or break a crystal, you do not need it again. So a lot of times people come into awakening and say, oh, I lost my rose quartz, I need another. I'll tell them, no, you get a different pink crystal, but not another rose quartz. So, you talked about same sequence numbers. What if you see 420 all the time? So 420 is a combination of the 4, 2, and the 0. So that one is, have a little bit more faith in what it is that you're working towards. You don't have to work so damn hard for it. Go easy. Would I recommend a singing bowl in meditation? Hey, if that floats your boat, absolutely yes. So absolutely yes. If that's something that you think is kind of cool looking, do it. Do it, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. What's the best crystal for a case social worker? Oh, Brianna. Green aventurine. I always say that wrong. Green aventurine. The other one would be black tourmaline to protect you. And the other one would be probably, honestly, rose quartz. So it helps. We want to make sure that your heart chakra stays in check and not is so big that you take that shit home. So we want to kind of keep it in check. So that's why I said those 3 in particular would be the best. Seeing male figures, but face is always hidden. What does that mean? Heather, that means to tell me that you either need to start working on the issues in relation to your father, or you are currently working on issues in relation to your biological father. So it's just kind of a spin-off of what you're already doing. If I'm seeing replicating numbers, then the following. So if you're seeing a lot of replicating numbers in one day, that means to tell me that vibrationally speaking, you are vibing high. That is the time to ask God for what it is that you want. That's when I'm like, okay, God, this is what I need. Show me how to get there, please. So, and then once you see those replicating numbers, that's just an indication that you're vibing high. And that's the perfect time to ask for what it is that you want, because you'll be able to manifest it quickly. So, but remember, once you see replicating numbers, you're going to see them damn near every single day for the rest of your life. So I've been seeing replicating numbers for 14 years. So, and it hasn't stopped. Hasn't ever stopped. Michelle, She said she blocked all of her spiritual abilities when bad things happened as a kid. Will I ever get them back? You will, Michelle. Learn how to meditate so you can work on the fear, because you're still probably in a fear-based state because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to hear anything. I'm like, start slow. Just start with, okay, I just want to hear things for right now. So I don't want anything else. I just want to start to hear. So baby steps, start slow. And then, of course, I want you to meditate, because that's how you get your brain to kind of settle down. Lastly, make sure that your real life is in check, meaning that you can't have a bunch of drama and try to be able to do that. So it's not because your real life is going to take precedence over your spirituality every single time. Templeton, don't eat the plant. So that meaning that you have to make sure that you have no drama in your real life in order to really tap in. Remember, you're here to learn lessons. You're here to learn. You can always tap in. You can always go home. That's what you're going to do anyway. But sometimes we feel like we get clouded over, and that's because our reality is taking precedence. So sequence of 12-12 is a combination of the 1 and the 2. It just means to basically keep having faith. Why is this happening now? Why not earlier in my life? It's because remember, everything happens in divine timing. It has to. So nothing is random. So it had to happen when it did, so you could learn the lessons fully. So, it's better late than never. I had an 85-year-old farmer come in to get a reading it was like 2 weeks ago. And he goes, yeah, my doctor told me that I needed to come see you. I'm like, what? So yeah, literally, I'm like, wait a second. Are your ears ringing? Is the top of your head itchy? Is certain foods not sitting good? Are you dreaming all crazy? Do you feel like you're having a midlife crisis? And he goes, that's exactly what's going on. I'm like, you're beginning to go through a spiritual awakening. And he said the same thing. He's like, why now? I'm like, why not? Better late than never. Because ultimately you want to go through a spiritual awakening in this life, and you want to be able to figure out what your life purpose is and do your life purpose, which is usually in service to humanity in some way, shape, or form. You just have to figure it out. And I'm going to tell you, follow your curiosity. If it feels curious to go learn about something that you've always wanted to learn, go. Life is too short not to. And if somebody has a problem, it's their problem. Don't make it yours. You're not here to people please everybody. You're here to live your life. So live your life full. Live it big. Do what you want to do. Truly do what you want to do. Grace, I'm coming back to Minneapolis the end of August. That's when my tour starts. My tour always starts in Minneapolis. So I'll be starting on that one. I can hear my guides, but having difficulty seeing them during meditation. Any tips? Denise, that just means to tell me that right now your clairvoyance isn't quite on yet. And I'm going to tell you, just like I tell the rest of my students, master what you already know. If you know that your clairaudience works, use it, work with it, go with the feels instead of the seeing. So, because I had that same trouble when I was going through my awakening really quickly, I thought, well, for sure I should be able to see. And it was finally when my guides came to me and they said, master what you already know. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to hear. But at the same time, now, 10 years later, I get it because I was putting so much focus on trying to open my third eye chakra and trying to be clairvoyant and trying to do all these things that I actually blocked myself because I wasn't in a place of allowance for it to come to me. So once I said, you know what, piss on it, I'm going to put it off to the side for a little bit, and then I'll work on all the other clairs, here came the clairvoyance. So the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is just to put it off to the side for right now, but work on the clairaudient and maybe work on the clairsentient instead. So shadow work is working on, because Susie's asking what exactly is shadow work. You do that at a stage 4 of your awakening. And that's really when you're sitting there feeling isolated and alone. And you are really working on hardcore issues like how you were raised, forgiving yourself, forgiving the other person, being authentic with who you really are, things like that. So, and I'll tell you, that crap's not easy, man. So that stage 3, it was hard. And remember, we go up and down on this scale too. Of the spiritual awakening stuff. So, you know what, Regina, that's a really good question. She was asking how to connect with her spirit guides. At this expo on Sunday, I believe at 1 or 1:30. I think it's 1:30. I'll be giving an hour-long class, and it's free. It's a spirit guide, angels and spirit guides class. So it's all about how to help, how to connect with your spirit guides, talk with your spirit guides. I'll be doing kind of a Q&A there on the differences between the type of angels, things like that. So if you have the Omaha Holistic Expo is this weekend, and like I said, I'll be doing mini readings, but I'm also going to be teaching a class for free. So you'll have to check that one out. Okay. That's Saturday and Sunday, this Saturday, Sunday. No, you don't have to hit the stages in order, Susie, not necessarily. Nope. So Trishna, does everybody have this ability? Absolutely, yes. Yeah, my ability is no different than anybody else's. Everybody has this. Some people just need help unlocking it. Other people, it's kind of like a piano. Some people are just naturally good at it. Some people just aren't. They got to practice a lot. I'm one of the lucky ones, but you guys also have to remember, you know what? I've been doing this for 7 years, so I've been working on it for a while. So the best thing I can do is just tell you, practice. Just practice. When is the right time for you to get a car? Kristen, not now. Not now. Wait until, I would even say after the shadow period. So Mercury goes direct March 9th. So 2 weeks after March 9th, I don't do math. 2 weeks after March 9th, then we're officially out of the retrograde season or shadow period. Then go buy a car. So before then, don't do it. You don't ever want to buy a car or a house in a Mercury retrograde because you're going to buy a lemon. So and not only that, the contracts will bite your butt. So we never ever want to do that in a Mercury retrograde. It's getting there. We're getting through it. So we're kind of on the last slide here now. So thank goodness, right? Jessica, I'm only going to do the class on Sunday. So the class is Sunday, I believe, at 1:30. So that's the free class. How to quiet the ear ringing. April, that's a really good question because sometimes it's really freaking annoying and very, very loud. So I would tell you, ask them, I hear you, step back, and you'll hear it go, wee. It'll just like disappear. So you'll hear it kind of disappear. So just ask them, I hear you, thank you, please step back. They'll go away. So they, and usually it really just kind of, wee, it just goes away. Yes, Hillary, after that point, you're good. Questions about job change and relationship. Carrie, I'm not doing personal readings on this one. Heather, for the mini readings that I'm going to be offering, it's 15 minutes for $75, and it's first come, first serve. So it's kind of whoever comes in the door first. I usually don't offer mini readings, but there's so many people asking, and I'm like, why not? So I'm going to do some mini readings. Can someone live stream your class Sunday for our distant followers? Well, hell, I don't see why not. I think that's a damn good idea. Huh. So, you know what? That's a really good idea. I will do that. Ha! Good idea. Woo! That's a great idea. I don't see why not. I'll have to ask permission from the expo and see if it's okay. And if they say no, it's a no. But it doesn't hurt to ask, right? So I will see. That's a really good one. Am I going to be doing a tarot card class? I think it's going to be in, if I remember right, I think that one's in June or July. So, but yeah, I'll do another one of those. I do lots of workshops. I really try to do more workshops, and I'm getting out of one of my programs and going more into Zoom. So I'm still kind of trying to figure that one out. I think my next workshop coming is Law of Attraction. And then the workshop after that is going to be the Metaphysical Anatomy. So that's the one where, what happened if your elbow hurts or your neck hurts or your head hurts? What does that mean emotionally speaking? So, because for me, people don't get sick willy-nilly. They usually get sick due to an emotional issue. So, do I still sell grounding pennants? By the dozens, yes. Yes, I do. I love my grounding pendants. Leslie, I believe I have abilities. However, always told it brings out evil thoughts. I would say that is the biggest crock of shit I have ever heard. And I would never, and nor would your guides, ever put fear into a beautiful thing. So I will tell you, a lot of people get scared when I say that I'm a psychic medium, because they immediately go, oh, that's interesting. Or they're like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm going to get one or two reactions. I really will. But it's only because they've been told that this is a bad thing. And number two, you got to remember, people fear what they don't understand. So you can't be mad at somebody who is really scared about this, or somebody that has some underlying scared stuff. That's okay. But the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is educate yourself. You can't be scared of something if you know what it's about. So educate yourself. That's the best thing I can tell you. Because if you know what to expect, or you know what's going on, then you don't fear that response, really. And number two, at any point in time, you always ask God to come by and protect you. So you can't ever worry about a negative entity attachment or a possession if you're going through an awakening anyway. Because trust me, a demonic entity is not going to go after somebody who's enlightened. They're going to go after the drunk bipolar alcoholic, or they're going to go with somebody who is a really bad person. That's free lunch for them. That's who they're going to go after. They're not going to go after people like us. It's just not going to happen. Is karma a real thing? Absolutely, yes. You treat people the way you'd want to be treated, because at the end of the day, your soul, my soul, the gay guy's soul, the black guy's soul, and the Chinese lady's soul is identical. So absolutely, you treat people the way you'd want to be treated, or it's going to come back to you, whether it's in this life or the next. So you steal everybody's money and you're a greedy bitch and then you die. Well, the next life you're going to be a hungry Ethiopian kid. So like I said, karma will come around, but it's in full understanding before you incarnate what that means. So Angela's asking, ingrown toenail. It means that you really need to work on your stubbornness. So it means that you're really stubborn and you don't like change. And I'm going to tell you, life is all about change. So get used to some change. You know, Robin, that's a really good question. Robin is asking, when you see replicating numbers, are they from spirit guides, or can they also be from passed away loved ones? They can be from loved ones too. So take, for instance, I'll take my husband, for instance. He lost a child named Christian, and his birthday is 9/21. So we see 9/21 every time we're together, at least once a day. So understand that that's just his way of saying, hi, guys. So he likes to check in once in a while. So that's his number for us, just to say hi. So absolutely, loved ones can, in particular, give certain numbers. So, but if you associate like 1111 with a loved one, then that's their number. So please don't think it's anything different. So if like I said, it's all about your own personal truth. It really is. And that's why fighting about this or being right or wrong about this is just stupid, because everybody has their own truth. So, Stacy's or significance in being woken up abruptly at the same time each night. I will tell you, most enlightened people, such as us, will be woken up usually between 2 and 4 in the morning. Almost always it's going to be significant. 3, 3:30, 3:33, 3:11, 2:11, 4:11. It's going to be something like this. It's going to be usually fairly significant numbers. So happens all the time. I will tell you, between 2 and 4 a.m. is the best time to meditate. That is the best time to talk to your spirit guides and loved ones. That's the best time, because you're not thinking of anything. You're actually in a meditative state. So therefore, if you're in a meditative state, you're tapped in, you're able to talk to your loved ones. Very easy, or other people. So, but really common. Sometimes our loved ones come in inadvertently and wake us up. That's true too. But almost always there's somebody there. Usually a spirit guide, a loved one, could be an angel. There's other things that could wake you up. Rarely is it something bad. And if it is, get some sage. So that way, if you do wake up, you know it's going to be somebody for your highest good. And the best time to sage is a new moon. And the best time to cleanse and charge your crystals is on the full moon. So all I do to cleanse and charge my crystals, I got a cake pan. I throw them on the cake pan. I throw them outside. There you go. So that charges them. So Rhonda, feel 2 angels are near me often. Try to meet guides. Ask names. No luck. Just hang in there. Remember, we want to work on the clairaudience to be able to get names. But sometimes we can go with feelings too. So go with how it feels, or how it sounds, or how it looks. Remember, spirit guides and angels are not human, so they don't need a human title. So they don't care what you call them, as long as you address them. They don't care. So I got one of my spirit guides. His name is Max, but it's a really long name and I couldn't pronounce it. So I'm like, dude, I'm just going to call you Max. He was like, that's cool. So remember, they don't care. They're not human. So they're spirit. They're pure love. They're here for us and our highest good. So don't worry about it. It's all good. So you just make up a name. Like mine's Max, Lily, and Mariah. That's their name. And I address them as such. And they know their name. So they know what I mean. So it's all good. It's all good. How do you find out who are your spirit guides? Go meditate or ask them to come through in a dream state. So Jennifer, if you're hearing tapping on your windows, I would suggest that you sage. So time to sage. And if anything, I would salt on the outside of the house. If you ever hear 3 taps, don't open the door. Don't open the window. Don't do that because you're inviting whatever that is in. You don't want to do that because you don't know what's coming in. So that's why you just want to sage. And then I would take sea salt is the best. Actually, kosher salt's pretty good too because it's been blessed. So you just take salt and you go on the outside of your house in one big circle, saying the same thing you would as sage. So that's it. And that'll really help to kind of get a better boundary or a buffer for that. So that way, you know. So my kids all know that they're instructed that if they hear knocking on a window or a door, they are not to open it up. Obviously, the front door, but especially windows, doors. I'm like, don't answer it. So, yes, that is true. That itself is that if you're not getting one, that just means to tell me that the timing's wrong, or sometimes no sign is a sign. So, saw an owl with my third eye flying towards me. Can you tell me what that means? Owls are very significant spiritual messengers. Hawks are too, but owls are way deeper than that. That very well, if you're seeing it in the third eye, that also could be a message for you, or it could be your animal spirit guide. Most likely, that's probably going to be one of your animal spirit guides. So my bird is a blue heron. So that's one. Whenever I see that one, it's usually pretty significant, and I'm paying attention. So the last time I saw one, I was thinking about opening up a store, and then I saw one literally in town in front of my car. And I'm like, all right, I guess it's time. So what does it mean to be drawn to all things drawn earthy? The Scots. I will tell you that is because you need grounding. That and welcome to my world. I have a bachelor's degree in horticulture. I didn't realize that the reason why I love plants so much is because it naturally grounds me down. So a lot of kids, you're going to notice, love to bring sticks, rocks, outside things inside. And I'll tell you what, it helps them to ground. Eagles, Jessica, sometimes eagles could be from a loved one. They could be also an animal spirit guide too. Again, look the meaning up of the spiritual meaning behind eagle or the spiritual meaning behind whatever it is, and see if that resonates with you and makes sense to you. So most than likely that might be where it's at. Any advice for skin trouble with the fingertips? Ooh, God, I got to look into that one. You know what, H? I can't answer that right off the top of my head. You know what? That's also going to matter which fingers. So let me know which fingers. If it's the pointer finger, middle finger, because these all matter too. One of my best friend is she reads palms. So I would have to ask her because each one, I know this one's creativity. No, this one's creativity. This one's relationships. And these two, I forget, job or something else. I don't know. So I have to look into that. What causes ADHD, Shelly? Highly intuitive kids. Honestly, that's true. So it's because we already know what you're going to say before you say it. So why the hell are we going to listen to you? So, yep. That's why we get in trouble all the time, because it's really difficult for us in school, because why should you just told us something new. We're like, oh, cool. That's a cool fact. And then you're like, oh yeah, here's a worksheet. And oh, by the way, we want you to read a book. And oh, by the way, we want you to regurgitate what you just learned. And we're like, what the hell for? We learned it. So that's why school for us isn't always fun. Suggestions for animals that seem to know something is around. Carrie, that's where sage comes in. Sage, Palo Santo, sweetgrass, whatever floats your boat. Doesn't matter. So it's whatever smell you like. Queen of Wands, what causes acne? Stress. Stress and anger, bits of anger. So it's kind of a combination of both. So that's how I'm like, check your anger and check your stress. But usually it's anger and dehydration. Footsteps and thumping sounds in the house. How to handle that? Sage your shit. Ugh. Sage or Palo Santo. So honestly, you should be saging about once a month. You really should. I have to sage here about every 2 weeks. Once a year, sometimes twice a year, I need to get my girlfriend in here to help me sage it, because sometimes I can sage it, but sometimes we need a little extra help. So I'll have either my friend Angie or Amanda come in and sage my house, and they're good cleaners. I mean, they'll clean it. Yeah, it costs a fee, but I don't care. So same with Reiki. So about 4 times a year, I'm going to get some Reiki done too. So get some healing touch, get some Reiki done. My healers are the worst people to take care of themselves. So even the healers need healed too. So take care of yourself. 5-year-old seeing skulls and crossbones. She's in when she closes her eyes, has issues at bedtime. That could be a past life impression. This is one of those where I want some black tourmaline between the box springs and the mattress. I think that's going to help with sleep anyway. She should probably get a dream catcher. And then the other thing I would recommend is make sure that her bed is not in a corner. So we don't want heads in corners for little kids. Corners are like mini pyramids. So guys, really, corners are like mini pyramids. So they really amplify energy. And if you've never been around somebody who's getting ready to cross over, dying, they always look in corners and they say that they see people. So that's really a big deal. So just understand corners are pretty powerful. But that's why especially when we are saging the house, you always want to make sure you hit those corners. Shelly, you're a natural empath. People are going to tell you when you're ready to die. They just will. So that makes you a really good person when it comes to like hospice care nurses or things like that. Something good for fibro and chronic fatigue. Leslie, I want you to work on your happiness, point blank. So fibromyalgia is for people who always think the world is against them, or the victim mentality, or things like that. I would also recommend, Leslie, that you read a book called The Medical Medium. I really think you might get a lot out of it. So that's another book that I would recommend for you, because it's about the foods that you eat to help heal that stuff. So, because your food is really going to matter. It matters what you eat. So, any dream catcher is fine, Marissa. Just let them pick it out, though. So the kid needs to pick out the dream catcher, and then the kid's going to go, I want it right there. You stick it where they tell you to stick it. So because they know how energy works in a home. So you put it wherever they say. Let's see. What does it mean when to be drawn to all things with odd numbers? Kristen, I am. Remember, the most spiritual numbers is 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, 144. Those are the most spiritual numbers. So you're going to see those numbers a lot anyway, but those just happen to be, most of them happen to be odd numbers. So, but that's normal. That's normal. Is my grandmother trying to communicate with me in my dreams, or do I just miss her? No, you're probably being able to get into REM sleep. So you have to be able to get into REM sleep to be able to go talk to your loved ones. So make sure that you're able to get enough sleep, and then you'll be able to talk to your loved ones. It's not that your loved ones aren't there. It's because you aren't getting enough sleep to be able to tap into their world. Nina, cause of kidney disease, it is not feeling good enough when it comes to your parents. So you feel never good enough, especially compared to other siblings usually, but you just feel really guilty, like I can't do this with my parents because I don't want to overburden them, or I got to be really good so they don't have to worry about me. It's like you're worrying about your parents, but yet you feel guilty over it. So don't hold any more guilt when it comes to your parents. So that's usually where that one kind of comes from. It's guilt. So any tips on weight loss? Shelly, all my empaths are going to be big hip girls. They're just gonna, because you guys naturally vibe high. Other people don't. They come talk to you, drain your energy, then they walk away and somebody else calls. Somebody else calls. So what happens is your body is like, oh crap, we're going to get an energy drain again. So it holds on to all of this extra fat because it thinks it's going to get drained or devoid of energy. Remember, fat is energy. So your body is going to store that extra fat because of the empathy. So I'm going to tell you, empathize a little less and you'll get thinner. And what I mean by that is simply put, shorten the time. Don't be talking to them for an hour. Be like, you got 10 minutes, what you need. So that's going to help to kind of keep things back in check. Things V Black Ford 85, preventing blood clots. Believe it or not, joy. So lack of joy is blood clots. You need to have some more damn fun. So quit being a serious adult. Quit worrying about what everybody else is going to think and go have some damn fun. You're due for a vacation. Go get it. So that's what the lack of joy is, blood clots. So you need to have some more fun. So need to have some more fun. Oh, well, you want to be the star of the show? Oh, okay. Well, Templeton says hi. So there's my squirrel dog. Let's say hi. Okay, say hi. Bad leg cramps causes that. Stubbornness. Usually it's stubbornness. What, buddy? Yes, hello. Yes, hello. I'm not ignoring you. I'm busy. I'm not busy. Can I put you down? Okay, never mind. Dreamt of angels and spirit guides just recently. Any thoughts or message on the dream? They probably were really there. They were probably really there. Ever heard of wind chimes from the sky? Seem to come the night sky. I have, especially if somebody's clairaudient is starting to kick it in. So remember, chimes and bells are always associated with the throat chakra. So that means to tell me that your throat chakra is opening up a little bit. So I do believe family pets are part of our life. Before we kind of are born, because remember, animals are here to teach us unconditional love. So he might be an asshole, but he at least teaches unconditional love. You are too. Okay. All right. I can put him down. And my other cat is just like right next to me. So, how do you know when you're ready for a new dog? You know, Susan, you'll just know. As weird as that might sound, you'll just know. You'll be like, like me. I just literally got Eric up out of a nap. I'm like, we need to go get a dog. And he was like, really? I'm like, yep. I stepped on my last piece of cereal. I'm done. I want to go get a dog. So he was like, okay. So church bells constantly ringing in your head, Carrie. That's your clairaudient. Yep. When my clairaudient first started chiming in, I kept hearing all these freaking like church bells. And it was freaking me out because I'm like, it's like a Tuesday. Like, why am I hearing this? And then I realized, then that's when I'm asking my kids, I'm like, you guys hear that? They're like, no. And I'm going, oh, I'm a little crazy. That's cool. Right? So, but yeah, that's clairvoyance coming in. What is it? What does it mean to get woken up out of my sleep by my dad's voice, but I don't live anywhere near him? Hillary, that's usually your dad. You're actually dead. Your dad may be astral traveling, especially when he's sleeping. Pretty normal. Paige used to do that a lot when she was living with her dad. She'd show up at my bedside, and I'd look right at her. I'm like, go home. And then she would go home. So I think I experienced a lot of precognition. How do I know? Because you'll have a lot of deja vu. Precognition and deja vu go hand in hand. So it's like peanut butter and jelly. Precognition is the ability to foresee what's going to be happening, and maybe not only your life, but other people's lives too. That's precognition. Usually happens when you are going to bed or waking up or things like that. It's kind of one of those, how many of you guys have ever like woken up and you have a song in your head and then your alarm goes off and that's the song and you're like, oh, right? That's precognition. So it's really it's normal for very intuitive people. Hillary, I just answered that one. How do you teach yourself to notice the difference between spirit and live people when driving at night? Well, if they're not alive, then they're not. I guess I don't know how to. I'm not reading that right. I guess I'm not catching what you're throwing down. So we got to reword that one. Is it normal to feel deja vu amongst entire days? Yes, Miss Megan. And I will tell you, I have asked for my precognition to be shut down because of that reason right there. I got sick and tired of feeling like, oh, this is going to happen, then it does. Oh, this is going to happen, then it does. And it's never anything freaking exciting. It's always just like, oh, the water bottle's going to drop. Oh, here comes so-and-so in. Oh, here comes. It's just, it got to be almost eerie. And so I've asked for that ability to be shut down. So you could ask for that ability to be kind of toned down a little bit, especially with the deja vu. So the worst part for me was that I was seeing dead people like being swept out to the sea and stuff like that, and I couldn't handle that. So I just asked for that ability to be shut down. It is a very weird feeling, yeah. Things to know for 2020. Honestly, 2020 is it's a very spiritual year. This year is a lot of spirituality. There's a lot of people getting tuned in, tapped on, things like that. So there's a lot more of that happening. So it's funny. I'm not one to predict things, especially presidents and things like that. But we'll have to see how this election year is going to go. I vote. I'm not going to tell you who I vote for or my opinion or anything like that. But I do keep seeing that Trump is probably going to be voted in again. So everybody has a different opinion. I'm not even going to go there, but that's what I keep seeing. So because I'm curious to know how things are going to go. But personally, I would tell you really, like I said, get more into your spirituality this year, because that's really where this whole driving force is going to be going. So all good. Okay. I want to thank everybody first and foremost again for coming. Like I said, I will be at an expo this weekend. It is the Omaha Holistic Expo. It is Saturday and Sunday at the UNO not quite on campus, but I forget the location, what it's called. It's some hall there. I will be doing mini readings, but I will be doing a free workshop at 1:30, the Spirit Guides an Angels workshop for almost an hour. I'm going to be taking questions as well on that workshop. So come join me then. And then the next weekend after that, which is March 14th, I'll be doing a live audience reading in Omaha. And then March 28th, I will be in Kearney doing a live audience reading as well. Of course, I've got workshops in between that. So again, if you guys haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, please make sure that you do, and make sure that you like this video, because it gets more people to see it. And again, if you haven't liked my Awakenings page or Psychic Medium / Kelly Miller, both on Facebook, please check those out, because we have a ton of new goodies and we're getting in more goodies all the time. So thank you guys once again for attending and watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. This week is going to get easier. Like I said, retrograde is heading out the door on the 9th. So things will snap back into normal. So it's going to be good. All right, guys, take care. God bless. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, guys. Bye.